Kia ora, Year 10. In this video, I'm going to go over how to find the equation of a straight line if you know the gradient and a point on that line. So we've done lots and lots of work this year on y equals mx plus c, right? M in that expression is a gradient, and a gradient is a rate of change. So in another video, we're going to go over, if you've got a long word problem, how do you figure out what the gradient is? And the keywords are things like the number of songs per hour, right? Or the wage rate per hour, or the cost per hour. So the big word that we're looking for when we're looking for what the gradient is per, because that's signaling that we've got a rate of change. And that's what the M in here means, right? Because when the X number goes up, then we multiply that by the gradient. And that means that when X changes, Y is going to change as well. But in this video, what we're going to be working with is mainly just algebra and numbers, so no words. I've got 6 examples, and I'm going to go through the first one, then I want you to try the next ones on your own. So the first one is this. We've got a gradient of 3, and we know that the line goes through the point 2, 8. So what are we going to do? Okay, well, if the gradient is 3, that means that my line must have the form y equals 3x plus something. So y equals 3x plus c. And we know that this point 2, 8 is on that line. The y coordinate in there is 8, and the x coordinate is 2. So it's going to be 8 is equal to 3 times 2 plus c. Now solving that, we get this. 8 is equal to 6 plus c. So 6 plus a number gives me 8. So c is equal to 2, right? So the way I'm solving that is I'm taking 6 away from both sides. Okay, so 8 minus 6 is equal to c. My final equation is y equals 3x plus 2. Now let's have a look at that on the graph. Well, we've got the point is 2, 8, and we know that the gradient's 3. So that means that my line has got a gradient that's going out 1 and up 3, out 1, up 3, like this. So we can use that to check that we've got this right, because if we're at 2 and we go down, we go back 1 to 1, that means that we want to be going down by 3. Okay, so this picture up here is what I'm drawing onto my graph. So we can kind of backtrack like that. And then if I do that again, so I'm at 1 here, and I go down, if I go back 1, I have to be going back 3 down. And that gets me to 2. And let's just put the ruler on there and see how that looks. Okay, so there we go. We've got that using, first of all, this, y equals 3x plus c, and then substitution. And that got me y equals 3x plus 2. But looking at it on the graph, you can see that our answer makes perfect sense. So let's go on now and I want you to do the next ones. So here are the questions here. So numbers 2 through 4 are in exactly the same pattern. We're given a gradient and a point. 5 and 6 are horizontal and vertical lines questions. Okay, so question 2, the gradient is -1, so my line must be y equals -x plus c. I'm going to substitute in the coordinates of this point. So the -5 is my y number. -5 is equal to negative of the x number, so -3 plus c. I'm going to add 3 to both sides to undo this -3. So I've got -5 plus 3 is equal to c. So c is equal to -2, and my line is y equals -x minus 2. Now let's see if that makes sense. So if I draw this line, we can start by putting on the y-intercept at -2, and then we're going to go, if m is -1, that means out 1 and down 1. So out 1, down 1, out 1, down 1, out 1, down 1. And look, we get to this point here, which is 3, -5. So there's my ruler there. Let's rule that on. Okay, on to number 3. Find the equation with a gradient of 2/3, and it goes through 6, 7. So y is equal to 2/3 of x plus c, and I'm going to substitute this in. So the y number is 7, and the x number is 6. So 7 is equal to 2/3 of 6 plus c. Now, 2/3 of 6, 1/3 of 6 is 2, So 2/3 of 6 is 4. So 7 is equal to 4 plus c. C equals 3. So our final equation is y is equal to 2/3 x plus 3. Now let's draw this on and see if we've got it right. So this one has got a scale going up in 2s, so we have to be a wee bit careful. 3 is here, and the gradient of 2/3 means we're going out 3 and up 2. Out 3. Is that right? That's not right at all, is it? Oh, yes, it is. We're going out 3 and up 2. Yep, that's right. And then let's do that again. So we're at 3 here. So we go out 3 to 6. We're at 5 here. And we're going up 2 to 7. So you can see it's tricky once we have a scale that's not letting me be really accurate. Let's just see how that works. Now, I'm really sorry about the drumming noise in the background, but my son's band is having their rehearsal downstairs. So there we go. That's my graph. That all looks pretty good, right? So we've got a y-intercept of 3, and we've got a gradient that we were given of 2/3. Next one. Question 4. The gradient is -1/2, so the equation will be y equals -1/2 x plus c. And I have to substitute in this point. So the y value will be -2, and the x number will be 10. -2, 10. No, that's not right. 10, x number is 10. 10, -2. So we know that this point here is on the line. Substituting gives me -2 is equal to -1/2 of 10 plus c. -2 is equal to -5 plus c. -2 plus 5 equals c. C is equal to 3. So my equation is y equals -1/2 x plus 3. Let's see if that looks good. -1/2 x plus 3. Okay, so if the gradient is -1/2, that means that I'm going out 2, down 1, out 2, down 1, out 2, down 1. So working that backwards, let's see where we get to. Out 2, down 1, 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 and that's perfect, right? So there we are. We end up at that value of a y-intercept of 3, and we can join them up, and that's my line. Okay, now questions 4 and 5 are a bit different. Question 5 is asking for the horizontal line through the point 10, -2. So if we draw this on, I think this is the easiest way to see why we get what we get. There isn't any gradient in here, right? So there's my horizontal line. And what it is it's all of the points that have a y value of -2. So I write that as y is equal to -2. So that's the format, as we've seen in class before, for a horizontal line. Let's look at the last one for a vertical line. Vertical line through the point 2, 5. So let's plot that. There's 2, 5. So it's a vertical line. Here it is here. And it's all of the points that have an x coordinate of 2. So there you go. Here's a quick summary of what we need to do. If we want to find the equation of a line when we know the gradient and a point on the line, we're going to know that the general form is mx+c, and then we substitute in what we know. So the gradient will be m, and then we substitute in the coordinates from there. Email me if you've got any more videos that you want done. I'm going to do a couple more on word problems over the next couple of days. Thanks for watching.